So, okay, today we are taking a look at two Windows 8 devices that you can use on Straight Talk, namely the Nokia 920 and the Huawei W1. Both of these phones are Windows 8 devices, and both can be used with Straight Talk GSM calling area, so AT&T or T-Mobile. If you have that in your area, you can use either of these phones. Now there is a fairly big price difference between both of these. The Nokia is $320. You can find a used one on eBay for around $300, $320. A new one will run you more than that, like $350, all the way up to maybe $400. The Huawei you can get directly from Straight Talk for $229, so not a bad deal at all, considering the fact that the specs really. I mean, there's a big difference between the phones, but not big enough in my mind to justify a $100 price difference. So if you're thinking about Windows on a Windows 8 device, then you might want to look at the Huawei W1 because it's a really good phone for a really good price. Now the differences between these phones are the first obvious difference is the size. The Nokia is considerably bigger. It's got a bigger screen. The screen size in the Nokia here on the left is 4.5 inches. On the Huawei it's 4 inches. The Nokia is also taller, wider, and heavier. So that in my mind is a bit of a drawback. I don't like huge phones. The 920 is fairly big. The Huawei is more of what I call about right, just about right size. Not too big, not too small. And we'll go ahead and measure these so you can see the dimensions. But before we do that, here's the playing card comparison, so you can see on the Nokia that it's fairly a whole lot bigger than a playing card, both in height and in width. Not that much bigger, but you know, fairly wider than a playing card. Whereas on the Huawei, you see that on the width, it's not as wide as the playing card. Now on the height, on this guy we have less than 5. It's about 4.9 or so. So there we have 4.88 on the height on the W1. The Nokia is well over 5. Well, I wouldn't say well over 5, but it's over 5. So it's about a quarter of an inch taller than the Huawei. On the width, we have 2 3/4 or thereabouts. Or on the Huawei, we have about 2.5, a little bit less than 2.5. So again, another quarter of an inch difference. On the thickness, Huawei we have 0.4. Nokia we have 0.4 basically, a little bit more. So it is a little bit wider, but not considerably so. Now for the weight, there is a full ounce difference between these phones, and I'll let you take a guess which one's heavier. The Nokia weighs in at over 6 ounces. So we have 6.65 on the Nokia, and on the Huawei we have 4.35, 4.4. So I said 1 ounce difference, so it's actually a 2 ounce difference between these two phones, which is fairly considerable on a phone. Now in the specs, which if you don't care about size, then the specs, then Nokia's the clear winner here. Nokia has the 920 has 1.5 gig dual core processor. The camera on this phone is probably one of the best smartphone cameras you'll find right now. It's got the Carl Zeiss lens, so this phone takes really good pictures, and it's got 8 megapixels of resolution. It does have a front-facing camera, by the way, as well. The Huawei has a 5 megapixel camera, so the pictures aren't as sharp. It also has a front-facing camera. Both of them have a flash, LED flash. Now, on the processor on the Huawei, you got 1.2 dual core. So not a huge difference in processing power, but you know, Nokia has a better or faster processor. Now, another huge difference between these phones is the storage capacity. The 920 has 32 gigs of built-in capacity. Of course, you can't install an SD card, so that's a bummer, which is why you probably get 32. Whereas on the Huawei, it only comes with 4, but you can install up to 32 gigs. Up to 32 gig SD card, and that's and back here under the battery cover. It does not come with one, by the way, but there's a slot to install one. It does not come with one from Straight Talk. By the way, you don't have to get this phone from Straight Talk, but Straight Talk's probably the best source for it. You can find them on eBay. The only thing about finding the Huawei on eBay is the fact that some of those are Chinese imports. Now, Huawei is a Chinese brand, but the reason why I say that is because some of the Huaweis that come from China, these W1s, don't work here in the States. So, if you want a Windows 8 device, an affordable one, then I would suggest you go to Straight Talk, because they're the only ones that have this phone right now, I think. Now, finally, one last thing to talk about, and that's the kind of the difference in operating systems and what they come with. Well, there is no difference in operating systems because they're both Windows 8. But the biggest difference is on the Nokia, you get all the Nokia specific stuff, which you might think is not that big a deal, but it actually is, because Nokia has owns a mapping company, so they have their own maps, and of course, and you do get turn-by-turn voice navigation. That's the navigation application, and it's got a lot of cool things. The navigation app is a whole lot better than the Google one, by the way. You know, you got tells you the miles per hour. Of course, it talks to you, and it's pretty accurate. The map, again, the map is a Nokia, done by Nokia, on the Nokia phone, and the Huawei one, I believe it's a Bing or Microsoft map, but I'm not sure because it doesn't. It's hard to tell. But so you can see the map differences. Not a huge difference, at least just in the regular mapping app. But the Huawei does not have that turn-by-turn navigation. It does have the direction list, so you can get directions using the Huawei. It's just not going to talk to you. You'll get the list, and then of course you'll have the waypoints in between on the list. Whereas the Nokia one will talk to you. So that, I think, about wraps it up. That's the biggest difference in the operating system. Everything else is, as you can see, pretty much the same. If you're concerned about the color, that's adjustable. You can change the color if you want on your tiles. But the tile stuff all works the same. Everything is the same on both of these phones. Now, one last thing I'm forgetting to mention here, and that's if you want to run these on Straight Talk, the Huawei will work out of the box. It's sold by Straight Talk, so it'll work. The Nokia, you need to get an AT&T model. An unlocked model will also work. And on this one, on the Nokia, you do have to set up the Straight Talk stuff. Check out some of my other videos for instructions on that. But it's fairly easy. It takes about 2 minutes to do. It's on the settings, cellular menu, and then you enter the APNs, Internet APN and MMS APN, which comes with your Straight Talk SIM card. Which, by the way, you do need a Straight Talk SIM card for the Nokia. The Huawei, you don't need the SIM card because it comes with it, but you do need a card. And of course, you need a card for the Nokia. So that about wraps it up. Hope you find this video useful in your Windows 8 device shopping. So again, if you're looking for a bargain phone with nice specs, I would definitely go with the Huawei. If you're wanting a high-end device and price is no big deal to you, the Nokia 920 is the way to go. It's probably the best Windows 8 device right now.